Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the March Percolator Breakfast. You're probably wondering who I am, so let's see. I'm not tall enough to be Eugene, and I'm not young enough to be Sam. Also, I don't work for the chamber. In the photo on the screen, I see a handsome, happy man wearing a Winninger fire protection shirt and holding a fire extinguisher. That means I must be Andrew Brown with Winninger Fire Protection, this year's PERC host sponsor. Can I get some wild applause for that? Thank you. I have the pleasure of welcoming all of you to PERC for the rest of the season, and I can't wait to get to know each and every one of you. But for now, we need to get this party started, so would you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And while you're getting settled, please take a few minutes to go through the Dow Credit Union folder at your tables. You'll find material from our sponsors along with our PERC brochure, which includes information on today's newest members. Let's make them feel welcome, build those new connections we're all here to make, and support each other whenever possible. As always, you can visit the Chamber's website at www.saginawchamber.org to find events, legislative information, and an array of services, including new members, job postings, and benefits designed to help your bottom line. We encourage you to take full advantage of your chamber membership. And now, please welcome to the stage Ambassador Vice Chair Lori Barr from My Member Insurance and Occasional Details Catering with today's new members.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. As Andrew said, I'm Lori Barr, and on behalf of the Chamber, I'm very happy to introduce today's new members. I'd like to ask all new members here today to please stand when I read your company description. First up is Chick-fil-A. Eating on the go can be a challenge, but Chick-fil-A wants to help. From hand breading the chicken for classic chicken sandwiches, sourcing fresh produce for salads and fruit cups, quality food has always been a top priority. Chick-fil-A believes in delivering great fast food every day, except Sundays. Welcome to the Chamber. First Choice Staffing Agency is a provider of home care services for the surrounding counties of Saginaw, Michigan, and Houston, Texas. Founded in 2015, they ensure that families made the correct decision in choosing First Choice services for their loved ones. Welcome to the Chamber. Michigan Headstones offers quality crafted headstone markers at affordable rates. They allow you, the customer, to customize and create the markers to your exact specifications. By using their online headstone engraved marker customization tool, you can create unique markers that both match and respect your loved one's life. Welcome to the Chamber. My Vision specializes in surgical and medical eye care, focusing on the unique needs of patients in Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, and the Thumb region. This includes comprehensive eye care, cataract and eyelid surgery, glaucoma treatment, and diabetic eye examinations using the most advanced technology. Welcome to the Chamber. New Beginnings Learning Center is an educational facility dedicated to providing quality learning opportunities for children ages 4 weeks to 5 years. This center specializes in fostering a positive and supporting learning environment that encourages academic growth and lifetime learning. Welcome to the Chamber. Office Design Solutions offers design-build services encompassing commercial general contracting, construction management at risk, and architectural and engineering service to support government agencies, military bases, and commercial enterprises. Welcome to the chamber. Parson Dedick Wealth Management Group, Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, provides wealth management services to clients in all stages of life to support the life you want to build, not just the life you have. Services include retirement planning, investment recommendations, account management, and much more. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network. Welcome to the chamber. Next up is Rachel Belgiorno, Air Reinhardt Realty Estate Partners. With over 30 years of successful experience in business, sales, marketing, and design, Rachel brings strong business acumen and deep commitment to her craft. Her mission statement is simple and sincere: to provide exceptional service by understanding the essence of clients' aspirations while protecting their financial, personal, and emotional investments. Welcome to the chamber. Richard Bush Renewal Center is a sacred space for retreats, gatherings, and sabbaticals for day, overnight, or weekend events. Experience rest and renewal in a luxurious lodge surrounded by the beauty of nature in central Michigan. They offer biblical retreats for mind, body, and spirit, providing growth and restoration in Christ. Welcome to the chamber. Self-Serve Lumber and Home Center, located in Saginaw, has the expert advice, materials, and supplies for all your home improvement and building projects. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. Shop your hometown self-service lumber and support local business in your community. Welcome to the chamber. The NABE serves the evolving needs of the Saginaw community. Programs and services are catered to economically disadvantaged youth and families and promote community socioeconomic empowerment. Welcome to the chamber. Unleashed Dog Training has dedicated their time to training and providing service and facility dogs to needed parties around the Midwest. Dogs are trained based on need and tasks required to provide the best dogs for you. Welcome to the chamber. Please join me in welcoming all of today's new members to the chamber. And now please welcome Jennifer Canio, Senior Director of Museums and Education for today's PERC partner, Midland Center for the Arts.
Good morning, everyone. So I have a very exciting experience to share with you today. Who here has ever wanted to travel to space, to explore amongst the stars? Who has wanted to become an astronaut but may not have the math skills, or if you're like me, maybe too afraid of heights to really go to outer space? Okay, I see some hands raising. So we have a unique experience at Midland Center for the Arts where you can actually travel to outer space. And I talked to some of you this morning, some of you have visited. It really feels like you're there. It is a remarkable experience. It's profound. It's a moving experience. And we have some kind of testimonials, photos to try to capture this for you. 360-degree footage was filmed amongst the International Space Station, along with 360-degree footage from an actual spacewalk. And so this immersive virtual reality experience is unique in that you have the autonomy to walk around a space, to explore the space station at your leisure, and to interact with those footages that take you to and inside of the International Space Station, where you can see real astronauts interacting. You can learn more about their experiences in space, and you can explore the human connection that is amongst all of us, whether you're actually traveling to outer space or you're exploring outer space from the comfort of our region, which is what I think I prefer. And so not only are we welcoming members of adults, youth, members of the public, we also are inviting school groups. And so I'm very pleased to share that we have 5,242 students and teachers and chaperones who will be coming to this exhibit over the course of the next month to really travel to space, to experience this immersive technology, and to hopefully inspire our youth to shoot for the stars, to pursue STEM careers as they learn more about the amazing things they can do, and to dig deeper into some of the STEM careers within our own region. And so we provide these enriched educational experiences for youth visiting. It's important to note too that we're trying to make this experience accessible for all children in all schools. We know that cost is oftentimes a barrier, so we're seeking out and still seeking out some individuals and businesses who are able to support underwriting for student field trips, dropping the costs from $25 per student to $5 per student. We also have bus grants and travel grants available that help make this experience accessible for our students. We feel that it's really important for kids to be able to see this, because many won't be able to experience something like this, probably at least until they're adults, if not longer. And so now is our opportunity to really provide something that inspires, that moves students, and that really gets them interested in STEM. So I hope you all will join us at Midland Center for the Arts, and I hope that you all consider perhaps sponsoring a classroom of students. That's all, one classroom at a time. And so we have a table set up over there. I'm happy to meet with you after if you have questions. There's some information about coming to see it. It's open through April 6th. And now, with a YPN update, please welcome Young Professionals Network Program Director, Sam Taney. Thank you.
All right. A little Weezer for you this morning. Kind of our 90s crowd out there. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sam Taney, and I'm honored to be here today representing the Saginaw County Young Professionals Network. I want you to take a moment and think back to where you were when you were starting out in your career. Who helped you along the way? Who introduced you to the right people, gave you advice, or created opportunities that made a difference? For the past 17 years, the Saginaw County Young Professionals Network has been that guiding force for so many in our community, helping young professionals build connections, develop leadership skills, and find a sense of belonging right here in Saginaw County. And now, we're inviting you to be part of a special moment as we celebrate that legacy. On Wednesday, April 23rd, we're hosting our first ever Memories and Milestones Luncheon at Saginaw Valley State University inside Curtis Hall. This event is more than just a luncheon. It's a celebration of where we've been, the impact we've made, and where we're headed. We'll bring together past and present YPN members, business and community leaders, and the many champions who have supported our mission from the very beginning. You'll hear inspiring stories of how the YPN helped shape careers, created friendships, and I believe one marriage. We have one marriage, at least maybe one marriage coming out of the YPN. And it's not just for individuals, but for the entire Great Lakes Bay region. We want you to be part of this moment. Whether you're a current or a former YPN member, a business leader looking to engage with the next generation of talent, or simply someone who believes investing in young professionals, this is the event to attend. Tickets are just $35 a person or $250 for a table of 8. Don't wait. Secure your spot now and be part of this milestone event. You'll find a QR code on the back of today's PERC brochure that will take you directly to registration. Simply scan the code with your phone's camera and you'll be able to register right now. And if you or your company would like to play an even bigger role in supporting the Young Professionals Network, we have sponsorship opportunities available. Your sponsorship helps us ensure that the YPN can continue providing programming, networking, and leadership opportunities that keep our region strong. To learn more, please reach out to member and sponsor sales manager Deidre Jones at the Chamber as soon as possible. Let's come together to celebrate, connect, and inspire the future of the YPN. Get your tickets today, and we'll see you on April 23rd. Of course, Memories and Milestones is just one of our upcoming events. Be sure to check out the YPN events calendar in your Dow Credit Union PERC folder for a quick look at our other events. We've got a QR code for you on the calendar too, which makes it very easy to register right now or when you get back to the office. Got a lot of YPN events coming up and we want to see you there. And now, please welcome our intrepid Chamber President, Eugene Seals Jr., with a raucous round of applause. Eugene?
As a seals, I don't really want to fly like an eagle. I would rather swim, but that's okay. At this time, I would like to acknowledge our premier PERC sponsors. These are the generous sponsors who make this PERC breakfast possible by underwriting all 10 of our events. So first off, can we just give them a round of applause and a thank you? We do understand that the experience is the difference at the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce. And one of those things that help makes the experience different is that our PERC breakfast is free to all of our members. And you get to come and enjoy breakfast. Thank you to these sponsors. So again, thank you. All of our sponsors are included in the PERC banner behind me, but we like to highlight a few of them each month to thank them for their continued support of this program. Today's highlighted sponsors include All Valley Home Healthcare, Isabella Bank, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, Umbra Group, and Wildfire Credit Union. Thanks again to these sponsors. We appreciate your sponsorship and your ability to give back to the community. Thank you again. And now these sponsors were so generous and so supportive that they're supportive of the connections that were made, that can be made at a PERC breakfast, that they were enticed, not by myself, to give door prizes for you this morning. So I'm going to read some winners of the names of these door prizes. And if your name is read, please come up to the podium after the program to claim your prize today. And first off, from All Valley Home Health, we have a $50 patisserie gift card. And the winner is, let's just move this around a little bit. Rochelle Hilliker. Rochelle, your $50 patisserie gift card will be able to be picked up at the patisserie, but we'll make sure to connect you so they're ready for you. From Saginaw Bay Underwriters, we have a tumbler and spirit. We have some tumblers and spirit tickets, and the winner is Tracy Aldridge. From Umber Group, we have a cedar bag and it says Umber swag. Hey, we're all over it today. We got some swag. Let's see. Sally Wade. Is there a Sally Wade? There we go. And from Wildfire Credit Union, we have a Wildfire swag bag to be picked up at their table. And the winner is Dennis Beeson. All right, so the winners again, remember, congratulations to you, but remember, at the end of today's program, please get connected to your prize or to your table, and we'll make sure that Rochelle will get you connected. That's right. And now, again, thank you to all of our Premier PERC sponsors. One last round of applause to our Premier PERC sponsors. And now, since I'm here, we might as well do a brief community update. First off this morning, I want to remind you that tomorrow is the deadline to register for the Chamber Chairman's Ball. This year, we'll be enjoying Saturday in the Park with live music, dinner, dancing, an open bar, and a nod to springtime activities. We'll also honor our 2024 Board of Directors Chair, Seth Perigo from Huntington, and present our Corporate Community Service Award to Fullerton Tool Company. If you plan to attend, you have today as the last day to register. So don't put it off. Like Sam said, do it right now. If you feel like going on your phone and registering right now, go for it. The Chamber is seeking nominations for our Community Leadership Awards. Presentations coming up on September 26th. Awards in the community, awards are the Community Impact Award, the Lifetime Community Service Award, Outstanding Small Business Award, the Dr. Samuel H. Shaheen Vision of Free Enterprise Award, and the Spirit of Saginaw Award. We are also seeking nominations for our corporate 2026 Corporate Community Service Award, which will be presented at next year's Chairman's Ball. So nomination forms, award descriptions and criteria, and past recipients are all available on the Chamber/Awards tab on our website. If you know of any deserving individuals that you feel will meet the criteria, please go onto our website, look at the criteria, and please nominate. Let us know if you need any help and help us honor them. Nominations are due to the Chamber by April 30th. All right, so any of you putting those nominations in, April 30th is the cutoff date. This month's Business After Hours is next Thursday, March 13th at Saginaw STEM, hosted by Saginaw STEM at the SVRC Marketplace. We hope that you can join us. It's going to be a fun, hands-on activity, Business After Hours. Also, we have a Chamber 101 scheduled for Tuesday, March 25th. Space is limited, so make sure you go online and register for that. It is free to register for a Chamber 101, but reminder that space is limited. We also don't forget about the Chamber Golf outing coming up on Tuesday, June 17th. You may say, coming up on Tuesday, June 17th, that's far away. It's actually going to come very quickly, and our registrations usually were sold out every year. So make sure that you plan ahead if you want to golf in our golf outing. June 17th at the Swan Valley Golf and Banquet Center. Register your teams before we sell out, and check with Deidre for a remaining sponsorship available. Deidre, go ahead and wait for them. Make sure you check with Deidre if you are interested in sponsorships. And I have one more. Here we go. Celebrating 50 years as a fixture in downtown Saginaw. Positive Results Downtown will have a number of upcoming events to include the opening exhibit, including the opening of an exhibit at the Cass Museum in early April, and they'll be doing a fundraiser in May, I believe May 2nd, at the Red Room downtown. The first event that they're going to have is going to be next week with their annual meeting on March 13th, but look for further details from them for all of their events, and let's support their efforts downtown. So that's Positive Results in downtown. And now, I believe it is time for us to take a little break for our business card exchange. We'll take about 10 minutes to make some new connections, then we'll continue with our program. But remember, when you hear that buzzer, go back to your seats.
So everybody hear that buzzer? We're not following directions that well this morning. All right, I'm Pat Hickspaw, Government Management Group. I also am not tall enough to be Eugene or young enough to be Sam. But I am our 2025 board chair, and the honor of representing our speaker sponsor today, Covenant Healthcare. They were unable to be at the podium today, but I want to share some important information on their behalf. March is colorectal. I said that wrong. I even asked that. Colorectal? Thank you. I knew I was going to do that wrong. Cancer Awareness Month. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in the U.S., yet it's highly preventable with screening. And experts at the Covenant Healthcare Center are here to support you every step of the way, from diagnosis to treatment to rehabilitation. Stop at the Covenant Healthcare table to learn more about their screenings and services. And now we have a short video from Covenant to help introduce, and then stay tuned, we'll introduce today's speakers after that.
Our goal and mission at Covenant in treating patients is that we are treating the whole patient in the context of their life. What we do with taking patients beyond just the clinical treatment phase and integrating that treatment into their daily lives allows them to continue with care.
They were there for me at all different levels, not only just the guiding of what I had to do next, but the emotional support too.
I have found every single time I have a question or every single time I have a need that Covenant is the place that I need to turn to for my answer.
There are so many people that are involved in the care of these patients that the patients will never see. And that takes planning, that takes investment, but it's also making sure that the care provided is that extraordinary care.
The nurse navigators, the physicians, the medical assistants within the physician groups, to the nurses that helped with infusion. I also used other services as far as they have a dietitian, nutritionist who helped out when I had questions with what I should eat, what I couldn't eat, occupational therapy and physical therapy both. They've all been absolutely wonderful. Hugs, smiles. They get to know you and really help you through this process.
They have a wonderful multidisciplinary team here at Covenant.
We have a breast health center that sees upwards of 90,000 screenings a year. It's medical oncology, it's hematology, it's gynecological oncology, it's surgical oncology, radiation oncology, and infusion therapy. In addition to that, we also have nurse practitioners that provide palliative care services and genetic testing.
Our common focus is that we want to take care of the patient and we want to give the patient the best care we can.
We know it's a constant battle. Whether you beat cancer and go into remission, you will always need support after that. So we try to build a program that is all-encompassing.
In fact, we have support groups here for our patients, but we even have a support group that is for patients and caregivers. The patients' families are just as much a part of the process.
We also follow the patients all the way through survivorship. We want to make sure that they feel supported moving on in their new normal and in their new way of life.
The location here at Mackinac benefits the patients because it's one location for all the services. The same front door, the same valet, the same people that you get to say good morning to every day.
And you get to know these people by their first name. Chuck will park your car, and the front desk person will always say hi. The nurses that give you a poke when you have to do your chemo, you'll start scheduling your chemo on their days because they're your favorite one. And it becomes a family because you will get to know their kids and their Christmases, what sports their kids play in, and it makes life better.
Our cancer care team
Is what makes Covenant
Extraordinary.
Our cancer care team
is what makes Covenant.
Extraordinary.
All right, now here to introduce our main attraction today. Dr. Erica Taylor currently serves as the Executive Director of Early Childhood Care for the Saginaw Intermediate School District, focusing on preschool programming, home visiting, family services, and child care providing. With over 29 years experience in PK-12 education, Dr. Taylor is a transparent, approachable leader with a commitment to serving Saginaw, the Saginaw community with passion and empowering staff, students, and families to become innovative leaders and learners. In her current position, she serves as a member of the Early Childhood Administrative Network, Early Childhood Contact for the Great Start and Readiness Program, Great Start Collaborative Executive Board Member. There's a lot of these, so just give me a minute. Administrator of the Child Care Program Hub for Great Lakes Bay Region, member of the Saginaw County Engagement and Inclusion Council, member of the Be Well Saginaw Partner Coalition, and Health Equity Subcommittee. Geno has been with the Workforce Development Specialist at Hemlock Semiconductor since 2024, after a distinguished career in education. A lot of us know Jenny. There's literally a page and a half of stuff here, okay? And I did get her permission to, to not list them. I don't want to, but between the state and local things that Jenny has done and continues to do, let's just say she stays involved. She stays involved. So with that, and literally there's pages here. And I don't, she asked me not to read all this, so I'd like to just welcome Erica and Jenny up to the stage for our presentation.
Their father's health did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams.
All right, it's all about adjusting the microphone. So good morning. We're really excited to be here today to talk to you about a topic we're both passionate about. But before we begin, I want you to think about this statement. Childcare is infrastructure. Dr. Taylor and I are here to show you that a critical component to building a stronger foundation for your business begins with childcare. $1,640. This is the amount businesses lose on average per working parent due to insufficient childcare. That translates to $23 billion annually. Many people can't afford to not work, but they're making that decision because the cost of care is so high or they can't find the type of care that they need. That's one reason that remote work is so appealing. It's not always a want. Many times it's a need. So consider this. Companies need workers. Many workers have children, and children need care so workers can come to work. As our friend Judy Zender-Keller would often say, anyone can invest in bricks and mortar, but successful leaders invest in people. Childcare is infrastructure. By a show of hands, how many of you currently need childcare in order to go to work? Keep your hands up. Now raise your hand if you or someone you love has ever needed childcare to go to work. Look at all these hands. It is very clear that childcare is essential to our workforce, to our families, to our livelihood. Several of us from Hemlock Semiconductor had the honor of being able to go to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Childcare Summit for Businesses in December. We had the opportunity to network and learn from businesses and childcare advocates across the nation. We've also spent months connecting with partners within our region and across the state to better understand the full scope of childcare challenges. As you all know, this is not a new problem. When Eugene asked me to talk to you today, I knew that I wanted to bring an expert in early care and education with me. So my friend and former colleague, Dr. Erica Taylor, graciously agreed to join me. So to better understand the crisis, let's dig into some numbers. Dr. Taylor. Doing a little dance here.
Good morning. And so what we'll start with are numbers across the United States. And so with over 16,000 childcare businesses, a small portion of those are childcare centers. But when you look at in 2021, the average annual revenue for home-based providers was $18,715. And after expenses and costs for operations, it was $10,417. And between 2019 and 2022, our centers decreased by 150, and then home-based providers decreased by 1,600. And the median annual wages in 2023 were $28,860. And then the median hourly wage was $13.91. And so the decrease in centers and home-based providers, combined with low wages and staff shortages, have resulted in childcare deserts. And so a childcare desert is an area where there are at least 50 children under 5, but without any childcare options, or more than 3 children per spot available. So if you think about that, you know, you've got 1 available spot for childcare, but you have 3 kids that need it. So that's what a childcare desert is. And so in 2018, 51% of the U.S. population lived in childcare deserts. This affects low-income, rural, and communities of color disproportionately. And so when you also think about that some of our jobs, some of us work at night. You know, hospital workers, our police, it's even harder for them to find childcare. And so currently in Michigan, 32% of Michigan children have parents that lack secure employment. 44% of people right here in Michigan live in a childcare desert. 55% of our children ages 3 to 4 are not in school full-time, and 18% of our children live in poverty. And so if we look at Saginaw and some of the surrounding counties, there are 27,251 more children than seats. That's in Bay, Clinton, Genesee, Gratiot, Midland, Saginaw, Shiawassee, and Tuscola. And in Saginaw County, there are 4,793 more children than seats. That's a lot. And so when we think about all of the things that result from that, where children can't be in an environment where they're starting off interacting with peers, getting that socialization, all of those things come into play when we don't even have enough seats to provide for our children.
So a recent survey by the Council for a Strong America reported some alarming statistics, and I'm going to share a few of those with you. 2/3 of parents of infants and toddlers indicated that they've been late for work or had to leave early due to childcare issues. More than half reported being distracted at work or missing full days, again due to childcare. 85% of primary caregivers said childcare issues hurt their work performance. More than a quarter have been reprimanded due to some related childcare issue, and nearly 1/4 have been fired due to childcare related issues. Employers lose $23 billion in revenue because of hiring costs associated with parents leaving the workforce or needing to lower their working hours. Families lose $78 billion per year in foregone earnings after reducing their hours and or paying for care providers. $21 billion are lost in income and sales tax because parents without care earn less and therefore consume less. So here's a sentiment that we often hear. Raise your hand if you ever heard this one. No one wants to work anymore. Right? My husband says that all the time. The fact is, often it is cheaper to stay home. In many instances, families cannot afford to work. Think about that. The table on the slide gives you an idea of the typical cost of care in Saginaw County. Raise your hand if you've ever had 2 or more children in childcare at the same time. So when you're paying out such large sums of money for care, it doesn't leave room for much else. The next myth is, childcare is so expensive, so providers must be rolling in the dough. Strangely, my husband has said that one too. But here's the reality. Bank tellers, on average, make $3 more per hour than a lead preschool teacher. The median wage of lead teachers is $13.91, which ranks in the 12th percentile of all occupations in Michigan. It's the same as telemarketers, food service, and security guards, all of which require a high school diploma. Think about that. Your children. 78% of our region's early care workforce earns less than $15 an hour, even though most possess education and training beyond high school. The fact is, most childcare owners do not make a lot of money. Their profit margins tend to be razor thin, usually less than 1%. So these people are not doing it for the money. Click, there we go. So this chart depicts our broken system. Many families can't afford the cost of high quality care, and subsidy rates fall short of covering these costs. There's a lack of sufficient public investment, leaving providers in the difficult position of setting price points to keep their doors open without turning parents away. Workers receive poor compensation, costs remain high for families, and programs operate with minimal, if any, profit margins. Public funding is necessary to sustainably grow the supply of childcare, support the workforce, and reduce costs for families. The reality is that there is market failure in childcare. The tuition costs that families barely can afford leave childcare workers unable to support themselves or a family. Think about that. Childcare is not my problem, yet another myth. And you could add on to that, because I don't have children, because it's not part of my business. But let's dig into that one for a minute. Childcare is actually a key factor in whether parents can participate in the labor force or not. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation partnered with the Michigan Chamber, the Grand Rapids Chamber, and the Early Childhood Investment Corporation to produce the Untapped Potential Report. This sought to understand the unique needs of working families in Michigan by examining the current landscape of childcare. A key finding is that Michigan was found to be 39th in the nation, 39 out of 50, in labor force participation due to challenges with childcare. So let's look at some other findings from that report. $2.88 billion. This is the annual loss for Michigan's economy due to insufficient childcare. $576 million. This is the approximate amount Michigan misses annually in tax revenue due to childcare issues. $2.3 billion. This is the annual amount of childcare related turnover absenteeism costs to employers. Let's look at some percentages. 63%. This is the percentage of parents that missed work for childcare. 52%. This is the percentage of parents attending work-related training or school that had to make significant work schedule adjustments. 14%. This is the percentage of parents that had to leave their jobs due to childcare issues. The lack of and the access to the types of childcare that people need not only impacts families, but also the bottom line for businesses. And as a result, the productivity of workers costs billions of dollars with a B each year to work, which is followed by regions across the state.
Okay, so in light of all of that, we're trying to mitigate this crisis. And Michigan has a network of support for child care providers and programs, and those wishing to start a program, whether that's in-home or center-based. And they are called Great Start to Quality Resource Centers. And these resource centers help people who are either already in the early child care network or who are wishing to enter that. They help them with their credentials. They help them come and look at their spaces. And so if you have a business, a home, a center, a school, and you wish to open up a classroom or provide those services, these Great Start to Quality Resource Centers, they can help you with that. They walk right beside you. If you look at the areas in the pink, those are 9 counties that include Aranac, Bay, Genesee, Huron, Lapeer, Saginaw, Sanilac, St. Clair, and Tuscola counties. Saginaw ISD actually administers the Great Start to Quality Center that serves all of those counties. And so our workers work directly beside people to get them licensed, to get them credentialed, to get them all of the materials and supplies they need, to let them know, hey, this is what you need to provide. If you have workers that need those credentials, they help point them in the right direction to get that as well. And so for our eastern region, for the counties that we serve, almost 49% are full based on licensing, and then with 64% of those having a wait list. And again, that is due to not having enough centers and not having enough workers. Some of the barriers: labor shortage, affordability to hire staff. And then families, some families now, because pre-K for all, the state has a pre-K for all initiative. And so families are choosing that program, which is free. But then that also leaves our home care providers that it affects their bottom line, because those families are now choosing that program. There are needs for expansion. And so we need funding to support wage increases to attract people to early child care. We need financial support to increase the space to provide those services. Some have expressed that they need financial support for hiring bonuses, health benefits, and then we also need to address zoning issues, which is related to licensing, and then funding to expand to non-traditional hours. And so we have something also called My Registry in Michigan. My Registry is a professional development system for Michigan's early childhood and school-age workforce. So it helps individuals, trainers, organizations, and training sponsors, and they help serve as the foundation of the Great Start to Quality Network. And so the information that I'm getting ready to share with you now comes from all of those participants within the My Registry program. So when we look at our workforce, there were over 67,000 respondents for this, and 60% of those work with ages 2 and higher. 93% of the workforce is female. For center-based, there are over 5,000 directors, almost 12,000 lead teachers, and over 23,000 assistant teachers. And in our home-based programs, there are over 2,000 licensed home-based owners and over 1,600 non-owner caregivers, which include lead teacher, assistant teacher, and family child care assistants. For demographics, there were over 122,000 respondents. Out of those providing, about 20% are African American, 67% white, and 6% Hispanic and or Latino. And over 40% of the workforce is ages 29 and under. 29 and under. And then almost 25% are ages 50 or older. So in terms of education and credentials, there were over 14,000 respondents for this. 72% have earned an associate's degree or higher. Over 4,500 has earned a CDA, which is a nationally recognized early childhood credential. 19 have earned the Michigan Youth Development Associate, which is a state recognized credential. 128 have earned an infant mental health endorsement, which is a credential recognizing specialized knowledge in regards to infants and young children. And 177 have completed specialized training in Montessori methods, earning a Montessori diploma, certificate, or credential. So in looking at compensation and experience, there were over 45,000 respondents. 76% works an average of 30 hours or more per week. And there are over 3,800 active center-based programs and over 2,100 home-based programs. In terms of compensation, for center-based, directors earn almost $25 per hour, lead teachers $20 per hour, and assistant teachers almost $15 per hour. Our licensed home-based workers, the owner, earns almost $20 an hour, and assistants almost $15 an hour. And then the directors average 6.8 years in their roles, while licensed home-based owners average about 13 and a half years in their roles. And so there are resources available to help people. One of those is as I mentioned earlier, was the Great Start to Readiness program. And this program is our state-funded pre-K program. And it's for our 4-year-olds. And so if you look from 2020 until now, in 2020, the slot allocation per child was $7,250. Currently, that allocation is $10,185 per child. So any program, any entity wishing to start a Great Start to Readiness preschool classroom, they would receive $10,185 per child. And then if you go for 5 days, you would have $12,222 per child. And so this is the program that you will find in many of our local districts, as well as our community-based organizations, and even our faith-based childcare organizations. And so these increases in funding helps to increase wages for staff. And then it also provides more money for supplies and materials and the other things you need to get started. And so looking at the number of people providing GSRP just in the Saginaw County area, there are, in 2019, there were 12, and currently we have 22. And so Saginaw ISD administers the GSRP program, and then we have subrecipients who provide that service in their different organizations. And so in 2019, there were 778 students served, and those are 4-year-olds. And currently, at the end of the 2024 program last year, we were serving 915, and that number is increasing. So participants were able to increase wages for staff due to the increase in the allocation per student. And so, for example, in Saginaw ISD, our lead teacher wages back in 2023, we increased by 17%. Associate teachers were increased by 20%, and program service aides by 16%. And so to give you an idea, so now a lead teacher used to be hourly. We made them salaried. They begin at $31,000 and $40,000. $40,000 is for a year-round staff person. Associates begin at $17.20 per hour, and aides begin at $15.21 per hour, and all with benefits. And so, recognizing that there is a staff shortage, we knew in order to provide our pre-K programs in Saginaw County that we had to do something with staff wages to attract staff and retain staff. There is also something called startup funds. When this first started, the startup funds were $25,000 that would help any organization or person who wished to start a pre-K program. This would help with your startup. This would help with buying whatever you need. This year, that has increased to $50,000. So if an entity is interested in opening up a classroom, they can get $50,000 per classroom that they want to start. Another resource that is available is TriShare. TriShare splits the cost of childcare 3 ways. The employee pays 1/3 of childcare costs, the employer pays 1/3, and then the state of Michigan pays 1/3. And so with this program, there is an eligibility requirement, but businesses can participate and provide this program for their employees. And so thinking about it just with a round number, so if a parent's childcare costs $900, that they would end up paying only $300 per month for childcare. That's a significant reduction. One that I wish I had when my kids were in childcare. But the benefits to the employers, it improves recruitment and retention, reduces absenteeism, it's cost effective, and it enhances productivity. So all of the things that Jenny talked about earlier, TriShare can help alleviate some of those. The providers, for those providing the child care, they get a check consistently. Sometimes, child care providers have to work with their parents. Sometimes things come up. They may not pay regularly as they should. With this program, the provider will get paid consistently on a regular schedule, and then they have the potential of attracting more families. And so another resource that we have at Saginaw ISD is reduced tuition, reimbursement, and scholarships and partnerships. And so we're currently partnering with Saginaw Valley to reduce tuition by 30%. So what we're hoping is that with our workers who maybe are serving in the aide position or the associate position, that this will provide some help so that they can get those credentials to move up into those lead teacher positions. We have tuition, the TEACH scholarship, that's through early childhood programming. That scholarship also helps pay for any classes that staff may need. That is open to any child care provider in Saginaw County. There's also a partnership with Saginaw Career Complex so that we can offer the hands-on experience for those who are in school and wishing to go into early childhood care.
All right. So employers and public-private partnerships, they can play a crucial role in bridging the child care gap. As I mentioned before, at Hemlock Semiconductor, we've had the opportunity to connect with employers all over the place. And I thought it would be helpful today to share some of the common themes that we've heard from people across the nation. So one of the things that seems to be low-hanging fruit with folks is subsidizing child care costs. So employers can offer child care subsidies or stipends to help employees afford quality child care. Even if it's just a little bit, anything is a help, right? On-site child care facilities. Some companies provide on-site child care centers or drop-in spaces, making it easier for parents to balance work and family responsibilities. And many companies also partner with child care facilities in the community to access additional slots and incentivize them to increase more slots for their employees. Flexible work arrangements, offering flexible hours, or as I mentioned before, remote work options. They can help parents manage child care needs much more effectively. Public-private partnerships. Collaborations between businesses, government, and early education advocates can create innovative solutions. As you just heard Erica talk about Michigan's Tri-Share program, that is an example of this. Ohio is implementing a similar model, as are a few other states. And investing in child care infrastructure. Public-private partnerships can invest in expanding and improving child care facilities, ensuring that more families have access to affordable, high-quality care. So many employers will ask, what is my return on investment? So data from the Boston Consulting Group and Moms First show that companies investing in child care benefits see a 90 to 425% return on investment. Darn, I'm a double clicker today. Retaining just 1% of eligible employees can offset the total cost of your child care benefits. So think about that. And employees with child care support avoid over 2 weeks of absences annually, improving productivity. 86% of employees are likely to stay with their employer if child care benefits are offered. And child care options are also a huge talent attraction piece. 76% of employees say child care benefits provide peace of mind and positively impact their careers. So at Hemlock, these are some of the things that we are looking at. These are starting points at this point. So first, we have provided a survey to all of our employees, so we had baseline data in terms of what people actually need, as opposed to maybe thinking that we know what they need. And we also conducted interviews to many of our staff members. We began a collaboration with our Great Start to Quality Resource Center to support employees with finding quality care, and we've had them on site several times already. We're exploring the possibility of offering employee stipends for child care to help offset those costs. Cost was one of the biggest barriers that our survey showed. We also plan to provide education for employees around the use of the Dependent Care Flexible Spending Account and its benefits. We're exploring a partnership with Northwest United Way, who has the state contract for Tri-Share, for a program that they call Duo Share, which is an employer-employee share cost model similar to Tri-Share, but without the state support and no income limits. We're in the process of establishing a parental employee resource group for feedback and input to inform decisions and to get input, like what are some opportunities that we might be missing? We want to make sure it's helping people. And we're also interested in being at the table for community and regional partnerships that are trying to provide sustainable solutions that get to root cause. Things like wages and infrastructure. To solve this crisis, it's going to take all of us across the county, the region, and the state, and we will continue to be at the table. And last but not least, legislative advocacy. One of the pieces that's been talked about around the state is increasing that financial threshold for Tri-Share. So for example, we are a company of about 1,500 people, and we have 4 employees that qualify. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our advocacy efforts, along with many others across the state, would be to increase that so we can cast a wider net. But whatever we advocate for, we need to go together so that we can make an impact, and collaboration is the key. So in the interest of time, I'm going to highlight just a few key data points that resulted from our child care survey. So the biggest needs of our employees included